Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. The following is the live call-in show from this past Sunday night, March 22nd, 2026. Scotty G joins me from over at Must See Adventures, and we had the phone lines wide open during this hour, and we got some great calls. Dennis called in because he just got off the Disney Wonder for that same cruise that Scott took a couple of weeks ago down to Mexico, where he visited Ensenada and Catalina Island, had a sea day. So he gives his thoughts on, again, that same cruise that Scott took. So we kind of compared and contrasted their two experiences. So if you ever want to have some thoughts on the Disney Wonder, Dennis gives us some great ideas there. TJ calls us from up in Chicago to talk about his recent trip last week down to Walt Disney World. Sorry. And he was down there for Flower and Garden, talked about staying in a 3-bedroom grand villa over at Old Key West. Don't we all wish we could do that? And more. And then Wade calls in and we talk about Food and Wine Festival. He has some hot takes over there. And we just talk about the festivals in general. So this and much more coming your way on today's show. Don't forget, our podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're standing by to help you plan an amazing Disney vacation for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You're the all-stars to keep this show on the air. We cannot do this without you, so thank you so very much for that. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. So come over this week. We'd sure love to have you at patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, March 22nd, 2026. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Hope you're having a great weekend. We are back with the Open Line to take your calls, God willing, at 407-584-7173, 407-584-7173. Joining me tonight, the co-host whose brackets have not been busted. I don't know what that feels like, being from Missouri, but, you know, he lives a good life. I mean, he's got the coach. You know, we need one of those someday. But Scotty G, Must See Adventures, I hear he's been editing those videos today into the double digits already. It's amazing, the dedication to that channel. Scotty G, what's going on up in Michigan?
Happy Sunday from East Lansing, where no couches were burned yet. You know, because Sweet 16, not routine by any means, but, you know, like just TCB, just taking care of business is what we do.
I'm telling you, if we made it to the Sweet 16, the stuff would be wild down here.
I tell you, our East region is ridiculous. Not to go on the sports podcast though, but you look at the powerhouses in our region. I know we talked about it a little bit last Sunday night, but you have Michigan State, you have UConn, you have Kansas, you have Duke, you had Louisville, like St. John's is in there, you know, UCLA. It is ridiculous, the historical powerhouse programs that are in this East region. Like it's kind of crazy, like how the committee did that, you know. But we survived. And coaches have always says, win the weekend. I kept saying that to my buddy Nebraska. I got to give a shout out to Wade. I hope he calls tonight. They are just living the high life in Lincoln, Nebraska this weekend. They won. Not only did they win their first men's NCAA tournament game, but they went out there the next 2 days later and beat Vanderbilt. A great game, probably the game of the tournament so far. Oh my gosh.
Dude, that last shot, dude. I
text Wade, like I almost threw up because I thought that shot went in.
Choked because, you know, I thought it was over, right? So I have to take a couple pills before bed, right? I have my headache. Like I take, you know, headache medicine when I need it, but I take one before bed just to, you know, proactively, right, every night. And I always take a swig of milk with it, but I chase it with a cookie. It's my routine. I have to take a cookie before bed. And so my good friend Billy, right? He sent me these great cookies. And so I go to bed. I'm like writing them off, right? So, but I can see the TV in the living room as I take my swig of milk and I have the cookie in my mouth as the ball goes up. And when it hits the rim, I was like, I almost choked because I thought it went in, and then when it didn't go in, that thing almost ended me.
It did for me too. I actually lost my voice during that game a little bit. I mean, that game was more stressful than my Spartan game. Like I feel like good friends with Wade, good friends with you. I mean, I root for my friends' teams too. I mean, the Canes kind of did you guys pretty handily.
Yeah, we do ourselves in. That's just, we knew it was happening.
But that was a great for that. But you were saying like bracket busted. There is a BOGP Discord bracket challenge. And last night I saw that I was in first place. I just had to load it up. If you were wondering why I was looking down on my phone here, I'm in second. So someone leaked me, Mike. So I'm currently in second place in the BOGP Discord.
Okay, I haven't even looked at it. Who's in first?
That's what I'm trying to figure it out. So BOGP podcast. Dave knows nothing. Whoever
apparently knows something, or you know what? That's
Dave must know something.
That's how it works. Okay, well, you're in second.
But Sparty Party and Indy is 2. Dave knows nothing has Duke winning it all. I'm 10 points behind Dave, so that's like one game.
So I have MIZ all the way, I think is the name of my team, and then I took Florida to win the whole thing. So at least I'm still alive.
MIZ, let's ride. Is that you? Maybe
that's stupid. I know it's dumb.
Whatever. You're in 9th right now.
Yeah. So. Okay, there we go. Out of 9 teams. Okay.
But there we go. That's our sports talk.
Okay,
but Dave must know something if Dave's in first.
He's sandbagging is what he's doing there. That's what we call that. Let's see here. Real quick though. Walter over on Instagram, by the way, Scott, because you can't see the Instagram comments, wants to meet you at Spring Surprise Weekend, Springtime Surprise. So shout out.
Okay, well there is a meetup.
There is. So let everybody know about that. We got some announcements. Yes, go ahead. So give the details.
So that's Saturday. Let me pull up the calendar. 18th, 19th. Don't know for sure.
Well, the Saturday of Springtime Surprise Weekend.
Yes,
you're going to be there,
which is the 18th. We're going to meet at Port Orleans Riverside. We're going to have a beignet meetup. Billy put a poll out there in the Discord. I think it was going to be 2:00. I think is the time we're looking at. Because I know like 12 o'clock was kind of like 2 in the middle of the day for people. They rather do like 10 or 2 p.m., 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. I think we landed at 2. But either way, I'll be around, Walter. Like go find me. I'm kind of easy to spot. I kind of share my location a lot because I post like Instagram, things like that. But be happy to meet. But definitely come to the meetup if you can too.
All right. One other piece of housekeeping I want to touch on it was that Mike Bankhead posted that there is more Lizard gear for sale. Just go to the Lizard Facebook page. You can get the shirts. You know what? I'm going to get one of those cool looking quarter zips. Those are pretty cool. Those are cool.
I love quarter zips.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever get like a / like basketball coaching, running coaching thing, like you got to have a quarter zip. And I mean, I see people wearing them all the time to run in. I got to get one of those. So, and you know what? My shirts are like from the OG run from probably like 15 years ago. They've been
mine
through
are old too, Mike. So mine are I like my OG shirts though.
I do too.
I have the one and only polo too. Yes, I think you know about that story, but I do.
I got to get the quarter zip. Yeah. My wife though, she's like, man, these shirts have been with you a while. I think that's what she means. Why don't you order new ones? And I'm like, I always miss the deadline. I know I'm terrible with deadlines. So, all right. So we're going to open up phone lines just a second. We hope. Couple questions for you tonight. I want you to rank the 4 festivals like we did on the show the other day. Your rankings, Festival Holidays, Festival of the Arts, Flower and Garden, Food and Wine. Where would you put those 1 to 4? Because we kind of did that in the Discord a little bit over the weekend. Just curious what everybody has their rankings. Where do you put those 1 to 4? And then I want to ask everybody. Now, I don't think this, Scott, you and I think we're kind of out. I don't think this is really in our wheelhouse, but I don't know if you saw the coverage of Bluey today out at Disneyland. Have you seen any of those? Have you seen it?
So deep into the NCAA tournament or video editing, so I've not seen it.
My gosh. I mean, so they opened that show, right? At that theater back there by I forget what it's called. It's like the Troubadour.
Oh, like the old Mickey and the Magical Map Theater by the train station, maybe?
Yes. And there's that potato, the little snack.
The potatoes.
Yeah, I call it the potato stand. Yep. It's called like Troubadour or whatever. It starts with a T. So they had these shows, right? With Bluey, and I've never seen Bluey in my life, but I know it's a big thing, right? And they had over the weekend, I think they released like a crossover cartoon with Mickey Mouse and Bluey to Disney Plus, where they did a thing together, a collaboration. They're cartoons. I'm acting like they're real people, but they did the show in that theater, right? And I mean, you should have seen the line for the show. I mean, okay, so the show's in that theater, right? The picture I saw was, I'm pretty sure that the person that I was standing in line was like back almost by the Matterhorn, like to get in there. And like they cut off like for the whole day, like all the shows. This was like at, I think 2:00 Central. It was crazy. And they were doing mobile orders. They had like geolocate so people couldn't order like Bluey merchandise, like without being in the park. They changed that up today, you know, at that certain location for some of the Bluey stuff. I mean, wow. I knew Bluey was popular, but here's the one thing I noticed though. And I mean, this is not making any kind of judgment, but I looked at the picture, and I mean, this picture, like it was just a sea of people from, you know, cause it was, like I said, it was like from like the Edelweiss snacks, kind of almost like pushing up towards Small World. That area up towards the theater, like I didn't hardly see any kids. Like it was almost all adults, you know, and was it adults that were wanting
adults love Bluey though?
That's fine. I mean, were they trying to get to the merchandise? Were they just going to see the show? I mean, because I've heard in the Discord, like, oh my gosh, you got to see this. It'll wreck you, because I don't want to see anything that's going to wreck me. You know, like I'm not into that. Like I don't watch scary movies. I don't like to be scared. But holy cow, like I knew it was popular.
Maybe their child was off and they were holding the spot in line.
Maybe.
I remember that happened with us when Anna and Elsa first made their way to Epcot. Liz held the spot in line, and me and Emily just went and did like Spaceship Earth and all this stuff, and then came back to line to meet them, because she had to wait for like 4 hours to meet the princesses. But I don't know.
It was wild. But here's the thing too. Maybe the demographic for Disneyland is skewed, because I think Disneyland folks are more like show people. Like they're definitely more like Fantasmic, like go early for Fantasmic, pull out a blanket, you know, parades and so forth. I think the demographic skews more maybe that way. I don't know. So
it could have been a lot of content people too, you know, want to get the videos posted, and then, but yeah, a lot of adults like Bluey. It could have been people wanting to get that merchandise. Hopefully not for resellers, but you know, there's resellers out there too, though.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so we want to talk to you tonight. So hopefully this is working. So we're going to open up the phone lines early, 475-847-173.
I did want to say I butchered. I'm so mad. My American Idol winning friend, you know, the Hawaii artist, on the last podcast, we were talking about the flowering garden. I was like, oh, I don't know who that is. I totally do. Like when you're doing live, you know, live radio, you know, live podcasting, you sometimes forget these things. And Mike, I did not know that you were going to have me rattle off every single artist for the flowering garden. So like near the end there, I was getting a little winded saying all those artists. So please don't take my Hawaii card or my musical card, people. I did, you know, I just kind of forgot near the end there. So I do know those artists.
I think you did a good job. I think you did a great job.
Mike.
Because it was
it was mostly like Wade messaged me like, I know you know who this is. Like I know. It was like right after we stopped recording. I went downstairs and told Liz like I totally butchered the end of this podcast, because I always do a recap with Liz when we record. Mike, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but like I do. It's like the press conference, you know. Like I get to the podium, you know, the media's there, and I take any questions, you know, like do the recap, you know, and it wasn't my best performance.
All right. It was good. You did a really good job. All right. We have first call of the night. Who's joining us?
Hey, this is Dennis down in Texas. How you guys doing?
Hey, Dennis. Yeah. And I'm glad to know that my neighbor smoking is good in high winds. So we will hopefully stay on the
smoking
air.
Smoking meat.
Smoking meats. Yes, absolutely. It's going to smell good here. Because you would know. All right, so
yeah, that just spreads the fragrance to all the neighbors. Spreads the love around.
Oh, dude, sometimes he does it like early on a Sunday morning, like when he gets up early and just throws it in. Oh my gosh, it's like stop! It smells so good. Anyway, Dennis, what's going on? What you got?
Oh, just back from the cruise and listened to Scotty's trip report from his Wonder Cruise, and just thought I'd call and compare notes a little bit.
Yeah, so I thought it was really interesting because I haven't taken this one, but Pam and I really want to do this one this fall. We're almost positive we're absolutely going to do this one because we love the classic ships. Never been out of San Diego. Haven't spent a lot of time in California. And like I got really, when Scott gave his trip report, I'm like, have to do this. And then, you know, I got to see all your pictures at the, you know, like a week later. So give us a little compare contrast from what Scott told us. What were your takes? Because you kind of went right behind him. What were some of the highlights for you?
Well, it's fantastic. It's a great cruise. I recommend that everyone try sailing out of San Diego. I think when it comes to ports, and I think Scott was kind of alluding to this a little bit, with Ensenada, you do have to plan a little bit more because it's not one that you necessarily just want to go out and wander around without something in mind. But Catalina is fantastic. Being able to hang out in San Diego pre and post cruise, it's just a perfect city to leave for a cruise from, because you've got Little Italy right there. You've got the Midway Museum just down like a block away from the cruise port. There's hotels you can stay at directly across the street. It's a great launching point for a cruise.
Go ahead, Scott. You got something?
I totally agree with that. I mean, because did you just walk to the port then, Dennis? Because we were looking at those hotels like right across from the port, and I gotta be honest, I was kind of jealous when I saw that you booked one of those, because you probably just walked with the luggage, right? I'm guessing.
Oh yeah. We got up. I got up around 5:30, and I was keeping an eye out because I wanted to watch the ship pull in. And then all of a sudden I heard noises, and it was right there across the street from my hotel room.
That's so
at about 6:30 in the morning. And then, got dressed, went and got coffee and a little something to eat for myself and my wife. My boys have their own room down the hall, but I sat on the balcony all morning, just watching people get off the cruise ship. I could hear the announcements when they started those, if you have luggage tag Mickey, it's time for you to get off the ship.
How great is that?
The casual way of inviting you to get off so that people who have money can get on the ship and take their place. But, and then as you said, Scott, the airport's right there. So I was watching jets land and take off all morning, and it was perfect. It was in the high 60s at the time, so it was nice and cool. We had a little bit of shade, and the other thing that was happening that weekend is there was a huge music festival right next door to our hotel, and so there had been a bunch of people watching going on that were going to enjoy the festival. So it was a great setup. It was a fantastic place to be, and it's a 60-second walk to the port from the hotel, so you can't beat it.
I believe it.
Okay, wait, one sec. What's the name of that hotel? Because I am staying there. God, it's one night. What was it?
It's the Wyndham Bayside.
Wyndham Bayside. Okay, I'm writing that down. Okay, go ahead, Scott.
That's one that we looked at, and there's a couple, and so we stayed a little further because we were staying post cruise too a couple nights, so we just wanted to be closer to Little Italy. Because we just love being in the heart of Little Italy too. Because you just said that too, Dennis. There's so much to do in San Diego. It's just a happening city. I just love the culture there. There's just so much to do. But so Dennis, you did something. So I was sharing your updates with my wife, because we just did that cruise and we were just so excited about it. I was like, oh, my friend Dennis is doing this, my friend that. And what's funny, my boss's boss is named Dennis, so she's like, which Dennis are you talking about here? I had to always clarify. But you went and saw the bison on Catalina.
Yes,
can you talk about that a little bit? Because that's something Elizabeth really wanted to do, because we were fascinated with the wildlife on there. So can you talk about that? What the excursion? I think you guys did that on your own.
Yeah, we did. To cut to the chase, we liked it. It was fun. The reason why we did it on our own outside of Disney was that the price through Disney was $174 per person. And I had seen a couple of reviews that said it could be hit or miss, that you're either going to see bison, or you're going to see wildlife, or you may not see anything. And I didn't want to take the risk at that price of not seeing anything. So I had gone online and looked up excursions from Catalina Island, cruise port, and found a company whose name I'm escaping in the moment, but they had it available for $84 per person.
Nice.
Wow.
And since Catalina is a tender port, you get off the tender, you take a left. So, if you take a right, you walk into downtown. If you take a left, you walk further along the dock there, and then there's a little covered area that has a deli and a few other, there's a ferry that gets you to the mainland from there. And then there you have this Catalina Adventures is what it was called. And you met there, and then they put you on a truck and drove you inland onto the island. We ended up seeing 3 bison over the tour, over the course of the 2-hour tour. It's, there's apparently 75 of them on the island. There used to be hundreds, but they rounded a bunch of them up and shipped them off back to Yellowstone and other places, because they can do a number on the environment there. But the first one, we just came around the corner and there it was, eating grass. I think I put a picture of that one in the Discord.
Mhm.
But then
So cool.
we saw two more. They also have the island foxes, which are dwarf foxes. They're only about 2/3 the size of a normal fox. I managed to catch one of those. And then they have gigantic squirrels that are ground squirrels, which are about 1.5 times the size of regular squirrels. Now, my kids said that they saw
Gigantic squirrels.
one of
I
those.
just
I
love
didn't
that
believe
like
it.
description.
God, that's like a nightmare.
Yeah, they
I'm
look
just
like
thinking. I
really
thought of like
buff
rally
squirrels.
squirrel
They
because I know
don't.
you both are Cardinal fans.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like the
Well,
gigantic
I
rally
didn't
squirrel.
think I'm glad you brought that up because like I didn't think about that at all. I just thought about a squirrel that's twice as big coming at me. But yeah, the rally squirrel's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so about an hour into the excursion, you end up at the, they call it like the airport in the sky. It's an elevated landing way, and we saw a couple planes land. We had an opportunity to jump out, use the restroom. We got back and drove back. The only real complaint I have about it is that those are some rough roads to drive on. And so we bounced around quite a bit, and we had planned on renting the golf cart after we were done. But after 2 hours of that, none of us could stomach the thought of getting back into another vehicle and driving around. So we just wandered around Catalina and grabbed some food, some ice cream, did some shopping, and had a really great afternoon. It's Scott, you said it's your favorite American port. I have a hard time disagreeing with that. It's a place that I would go on a San Diego cruise just for Catalina Island again. It's
For sure.
definitely worth the.
I haven't
worth the
been to
trip.
Alaska, so I definitely want to check out those Alaskan ports. But like Catalina is just so great. Like
Yeah.
I can't. I keep thinking about going back there, and I know Mike, you have to go there. I think you're
I know
really.
I'm about to
enjoy
stop
that.
the show
Yeah.
for like the 7th time to book this cruise right now. Sorry,
Right.
Dennis and Scott. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
So
Yeah.
what about the
difference between
ship, Dennis?
Catalina and Alaska
ahead.
ports is that the Alaska ports are cool, but it's the excursions you could take from them that make them really shine. And it's the sailing in and out of them with the mountains and the forests and the cascades and all the wildlife you can see, the whales, the orcas, bears, and all that stuff that makes Alaska great. But for just a place to hang out for a few hours, it's really tough to beat Catalina.
Awesome.
So tell me about the ship. Okay, so give us, for folks that haven't been on the Wonder, because Scott gave us some ideas. And the funny thing is like obviously because the crew was the same, because you guys were like almost back to back.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ran into a lot of the same folks. What favorite crew members? Favorite maybe tastings, dinners, stuff like that, or shows around the ship? What would you think of that?
Well, Scott's boy Onric, that he told me to be on the lookout for. He's a trip. We ran into him on night one at the popcorn stand outside the Buena Vista Theater, and I didn't even realize it was him for a second. My son likes to get the popcorn bucket and then fills it up 2 or 3 times a day during the cruise. And all of a sudden I looked at his name badge and said, Onric from South Africa. I was like, oh, hey, I was supposed to say hi to you. And he said, oh, and I said, yeah, my friend Scotty was here on a cruise a couple weeks ago. And I showed him a picture. He's like, oh, yeah, I know him. He tipped me really well. But here's what had happened is like the kids that were right.
Of course, that's
before
what he
us-
remembers. I'm the big tipper, right?
You are.
Yeah. So the kids that were there before us were trying to buy popcorn with a gift card, but they were having an error with the gift card. And so he told them to go down to guest services. They started to walk off, and he's like, oh, guys, you forgot your card. And so he held it out, and then I said, you want me to give it to him? And he said, yeah. So I grabbed his card and I gave it to these kids. He gave them his staff ID. And so the kids go wandering off, and all of a sudden we're trying to buy this popcorn bucket, and he realizes he just gave his staff ID to the kids, and he asked if we could mind watching his stand, and he went running off after these kids.
Oh, no.
And so for like 5 minutes, I was the guardian of the popcorn stand with my son. And then he came puffing back. He managed to get his card, and got to see him once or twice over the course of the cruise. He was a fun guy. He was cool.
He's funny.
For my money, the best place on the Wonder is the French Quarter Lounge, right outside Tiana's. It always
Which
has
is funny.
great entertainment.
And not to interrupt you, Dennis, that's where Onric was 100% of the time when I was on the cruise. So that's where I like always was interacting with him. So that's kind of funny. But go ahead.
Yeah, he was never there when we were there, but there was a server that we got to know by the name of Ronald, who was really cool. And but then the Starlight Serenade duo was there performing all the time, and they had the beignets that you can order with your coffee or wine or whatever you want to drink. And this was my 4th time on the Wonder, and it's been my favorite place on the ship. all 4 times. I will say though, this time around, since my youngest turned 18 this last fall, we got to go pretty much anywhere we wanted in the ship, all 4 of us. And so we spent a lot of time hanging out in the adult area on the pool deck, up on 9, right outside the Cove Cafe. They have those really comfortable chairs and the couches, and coffee's right there. There's a Signals bar is just around the corner. We'd go get food, and as much as I love funnel vision, there was something to be said about the peace and quiet right outside there of the Cove Cafe.
That's been a new discovery for us too, Dennis, the last few cruises. We may have bended the rules just a little bit last summer because Emily was like 17 in like 10 months, when we're on the Magic. Yeah. But man, like it's been a game changer. Just like you just said, like even if you're just grabbing pool deck food, right? Like just to like take it down to the Cove area instead of like the funnel vision area, like it just, the decimals of the loudness just drop drastically when you get to the Cove area. It's just so peaceful.
And on not just jumping real quick, the classic ships, it's so much larger for the adult. The adult areas are they're spread out. It just feels more, I don't know, they feel super comfortable. Not that I don't even know that I would say they're larger. It's just how I like how they're set up on the Magic and the Wonder, because even on like the Fantasy and the Dream, I like those too with Satellite Falls, but they're up forward. Like if you want to grab like some deck food and chill there, I like how they're tucked away, but it feels big and it's got the deep pool. You mentioned that on one of the more recent vlogs, Scott, over on Must See Adventures, where Emily, I think all 3 of you guys were in the pool, where you can actually swim in the pool rather than just like with the infinity pools on the Wish class. You can kind of just like wade, or I don't know what you call it, just kind of soak.
Yeah, just soak. But that's and that's the one that Dennis was just on too. Is the same one on the Wonder. Like that is a deep pool there at the Cove pool.
Yeah, you can enjoy
on the classic ships.
And when everybody in the family has reached adulthood, that makes the whole ship accessible, which changes the dynamic. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was curious to see how it would go, because in the past, we've always had to limit ourselves as to where we could be, because not all 4 of us could be in those adult areas at the same time, or down in the lounges in the evenings when they started doing all the adult trivias and match your mate and that type of thing. But with all 4 of us being able to go anywhere, it just was a whole new dynamic to cruising. And I'm ready to book another one. I just have to find out what everyone's schedule is going to be, since this is, you guys know, with Emily off at college and Mallory about to go, and my youngest has made his college decision, is about to go. I just don't know where everyone's going to be when. So making planning for the future a little bit more difficult, but it sure did make this cruise sweet that we didn't have to worry about splitting up to do those special things, that all 4 of us could just go wherever we wanted, whenever we wanted.
Makes you appreciate
really
these
good too. Yeah.
It makes you, and I mean, we're all 3 feeling it, right? It makes you sure appreciate, I mean, every day of these cruises, right? I mean, it's like, not that we didn't appreciate them 10 years ago. We do, we're dads and we get this all, but you really start to appreciate it when you see, it's inevitable. They're going away to school. Emily's already at school. Scott's seeing this, like she's coming back from spring break. We get this, she's only home for 2 weeks. We're only going to be together for, X amount of days, 8 days, 7 days, for this little break. It makes these days like, infinitely more special every time, I think.
And that's why I think cruising is such a good thing. Like, and Dennis just hit, because like now the boys are all the same within that same age group now. So you can go to like match your mate all together. You can go to Crown and Fin together and just be able to hang out. And it's like where like Walt Disney World is great, right? But the scope of that is so big, where like on the cruise ship, it's just easy to do. And it's easy to just hang out, let loose, and then just hang out for a few days. That's why I just love the Disney Cruise Line vacations for a family. They're so great. And I know Dennis agrees. And I know Dennis agrees. I don't have to pitch it to Dennis. He's like he's the, what do we call him, like the cruise father, or
he is. I mean, over on the Discord in the clubhouse, Dennis will answer your question within 4.3 seconds with the best answer you'll ever want to have.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, you're right. It was nice to get off everybody else's individual turf here at home, and then get into a place where, the offices weren't calling me, weren't calling my wife. The schools didn't have the boys' time. Where they teach martial arts couldn't get a hold of them and had no clue how to. And just we could just sleep in, eat when we wanted, and didn't have to worry about navigating around anyone's schedule.
What I love
I have
the
a
most,
question for you,
real
Dennis.
quick, because I got to tell real quick before I forget, because then I want you to do this. What I love the most, Dennis, though, is how you were those passive progressive commercials that are on TV for that progressive insurance. You were passive Disney Cruise Line when you were trying to get everybody moving the morning of the cruise embarkation, where you were up early watching the planes, but you weren't like telling everybody get up, but you were just like, you were bringing everybody breakfast. You were kind of like softly rattling around to get, because that's me every time. Like, dude, let's go. Because I get up so early and I'm like, I'm so amped up on cruise. How can you not be amped up on cruise morning, especially if like the cruise ship's right outside your balcony in that hotel? I'd be going nuts. And if everybody's still sleeping, but you're trying to bring them bagels and croissants and stuff, like, you know, can we get up and like move? Like, but when you posted that morning, I felt it so much. I was like, Dennis, I feel you more than I've ever felt you, Dennis. I want to go. Like, please, family, get up. I get one of those air horns, like, let's go. Okay, sorry, Scott. I just had to say it before we go.
No, that was great. So I'm going to give Dennis some power here for this 4-night cruise, because I made an observation. Your day 2 was a sea day. Is that right, Dennis?
Yes.
Okay. So my sea day was day 4. So I went embarkation, Catalina, Ensenada sea day, and you went like in a completely different order. So I'm going to ask you, with this 4-day itinerary, what would be your ideal order to do this cruise?
Ooh, well, you know, my preference is for the 3 days is that Ensenada is my least favorite of the 3, and then it's a toss up between the sea day and Catalina. So I think what I would do is put Ensenada first, so I could save the best for last. Do Catalina after Ensenada, and then do the sea day. Just, you know, because after you've done the touring and stuff like that, because, you know, those excursions and those port days can be busy and you can wear yourself out, but just ending on a day where you can relax and hang out around the pool, just enjoy the ship all day long, not have to worry about getting back from excursion and packing and that type of thing. So yeah, I think I would flip what our schedule was and go Ensenada, Catalina, sea day.
I like a sea day at the end too. I just think it gives you that like mental rest. You're not, even when you're, you know, even though like going to the ports and everything is a good time, it's more mentally taxing. Like you're trying to think about like, what time do I got to be back on the ship? What do I got to get done on the island? Stuff like that.
Yeah. It honestly threw me off when I was following your Discord and like, what? Dennis hasn't gotten off. I know he's doing things at both destinations. Like, what is someone not feeling well, or like I was really thrown off. Then I kind of realized like, oh, they're having a sea day like right off the bat. It just really threw me off at first.
Yeah, this was different than the when I did the same itinerary back in 2023. The order of the days was different, and so I, up until a couple of weeks ago, I hadn't been paying attention. I just knew what we were going to, and then all of a sudden,
that's me.
It was, oh, we start with the sea day, and so it was different than that the previous time we'd done it, and you know, I'll take whatever I can get. But if like you said, if I had my choice, we would have ordered that a little bit differently. And here's the thing that was kind of crazy is that on night 1, the first full day, they actually had to do a medical evacuation on the sea day, and we were by Ensenada, of all places. So we, you know, on the sea day, they sailed down around Ensenada. Then the next day they went to Catalina. Then they went back to Ensenada before heading back to San Diego. So I guess they're just close enough that they can really do them in whatever order works.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, because that one does. Yeah, I guess that one even covers less geographic area than like a Bahamian cruise out of Canaveral. It looks like, because I was watching Scott. I would guess, because Scott threw me off, because like I didn't even realize that, you know, Catalina, you go north, like you went straight north. I'm like, that's weird that he goes north, because every cruise I've ever taken always goes south, you know, but it does, because Catalina's north of San Diego.
It's also weird podcasting when a buzzer beater.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, Dennis will get it, because Kansas just lost on a buzzer beater. It was so good.
Oh, that's fantastic.
In San Diego, where Dennis just was.
And he'd say, oh, by the way, he probably won't say it. So when Dennis got off the ship in San Diego, where this game was taken, Kansas was playing, they were in that region. He got off with his Mizzou gear on.
Yeah, I had no clue. We were touring the Midway, and we were getting ready to walk into the bridge, and I turned around, and there was two guys wearing Kansas shirts. And then one of the docents said, man, I'm seeing a lot of people in Kansas gear. And I still wasn't putting two and two together. And then, everyone was kind of chatting. And I said, this guy's like, you seem like a nice guy, so I won't hold it against you that you're a Kansas fan. And I pointed to the Mizzou logo on my chest. And then later we were going down the stairs, and there's like 4 more Kansas fans coming up. On the lower deck, I ran into a half dozen more. And then all of a sudden they were all over the place. And then one of them mentioned the game, and it finally dawned on me that that's where they were. I had no idea where the sites were for the first round. But then they're everywhere I went, I was running into the Kansas fans, and, rock, chalk, chicken, hawk is my response to all that. But at any rate, there was some fun trash talking going on in San Diego.
Like, it's not bad enough. I got to get off the ship today. Now I got beakers everywhere. What's going on? Anyway, oh man, it's Dennis. I love hearing from you because you have the best perspective when it comes to Disney Cruise Line. You help everybody out, and I'm just so glad we're friends. And just don't be a stranger, and give us a call anytime. We love talking to you.
My pleasure. And anyone needs help, just hit me up in the Discord. I'm happy to do it.
We sure will. And you take care of yourself down there, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, bye.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.
Hey, Dennis, good call.
Great call.
Good to hear from Dennis.
That is always good to hear from Dennis.
I love the live podcasting during buzzer beaters, man. That doesn't happen very often for us.
Oh my god! Well, because the thing is, Dennis is a Mizzou guy.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy. I can't believe Kansas. We've talked a lot of sports. For sorry people, it's March Madness, but I can't believe Kansas only had 3 fouls at that point because. I was like, why are they fouling so much? I was like, oh my god, they only have 3 fouls.
I mean, too bad. All right, we have our next call. Who's joining us?
Hey, it's TJ.
Hey, TJ, up in Chicagoland. What's going on tonight?
It's chilly tonight, man. We're like, it feels like it's in the 30s or something like that.
That's what Scotty G was saying. We broke a record today down here, 90 degrees down here in Missouri.
Geez, I'll take that any day. So.
Hot.
No, we just got back from our trip and wanted to give a quick report. So
let's hear about. Well, we saw you post that one picture in the Discord. You were in that Grand Villa over that one night over at Okie West.
Yeah, so the Grand Villa, calling it a villa is understating it. It was more like a small house.
That's what I'm saying. That looked like it.
So I mean that thing was insane. But in all honesty, it was perfect for us. So it was 6 of us. My kids are all no longer kids. And so my daughter and her boyfriend had one room. My other 2 kids had the other room. And then the master suite for my wife and I. So, but it was great having everyone under one roof, which originally we were thinking just go and get get like 3 studios and realize that with your help and getting the one night on cash that, it was awesome having everybody in one place and having the space for it all. So
I appreciate it. And I'm just glad you guys had a good time. Cause I got to spend a little bit of time one time in a 2-bedroom. It was the best vacation I think I ever had at Walt Disney World. We split a 2-bedroom with Scott's family, and it changed the dynamic of the vacation. We baked cookies. We hung out on the deck. We taunted people putting out on like the 9th hole or whatever, or the 7th hole. I don't know what it was, but we had groceries. We played games. That was the best. It turned a vacation instead of rushing to the parks. We hung out just like we were, because he lives in Michigan, I live in St. Louis. We don't get to hang out like we both.
And that was after
town.
a cruise too. We went from
good.
a stateroom to that.
Oh god,
Just kind of
crazy. It's like you just said, TJ. It was like a house. It wasn't like a hotel at all.
So I mean, and Scotty, you probably because I know you stayed in the villas there too. The living room on this thing was bigger than it is on a 1-bedroom. I mean, it was just ginormous. So, but I mean, I looked up the things like 2,300 square feet or something like that. It is insane how big the thing is, but it was spectacular with having the space, with just being able to relax and chill out in the room. The balcony, Mike, same thing, where it overlooked one of the holes for the golf course. So it was great.
We didn't really taunt the people. We did it like between ourselves. We didn't like yell down and like taunt.
I know.
Where's that room located? Were you like near the hospitality house, TJ? Or where exactly were you in the resort?
It was building 63, so it was in the Miller's Road section, but the part that was right across from the hospitality house.
Yep, I know exactly where that building 63 is. That's a nice location there. I like that.
I say for the Granvilles, they should like bring you buttermilk chicken from Olivia's, like on demand.
The chef actually comes in and cooks it in the building.
With the chicken, yes.
So, but then also got to hit up Flower and Garden. I've only done that a couple of times, but and heard the show from Friday. The French toast at Brunch Cat was spectacular.
Oh, now you're talking. Oh,
so and also another one place that you mentioned, Beach Grub. They had the Mexican street corn, and that was really good too. So
gotta be careful. Did it have a lot of butter on it? Was it a mess?
We did not need to change shirts afterwards.
No, there's shorts for me. I destroyed a pair of shorts. It was all over me. I was a wreck. Well, I was like, it was
no clothing change was required for TJ.
TJ, yeah, he's more with it than I am. That's how that goes.
We try to remain civilized. So
that's the difference right there. So did you guys see were there any bands? Did you guys see any shows?
So I didn't. I was bad. I didn't check the schedule as to who was performing when we were down there, and then we're walking around World Showcase, and it's Billy Ocean that's performing.
Oh man, Caribbean Queen.
So stood there for a couple of songs of his. That was great. And I mean, the guy's in his 70s, and he can still move pretty good.
That's all. Some of these performers, like you say, they're in their 70s and they still get it. I don't know how they do it. That's unbelievable. By the way, I know it's totally off topic. William Shatner is 95 today and still getting it. That's unbelievable. Like, I don't know how they keep going. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, the force is strong with him. I know that's the wrong phrase.
I don't know what the force is, but he's living long and prospering, I guess.
Very true.
We don't want to mix our metaphors here.
Yeah, I've got a son who's a big Star Wars guy, so whenever he's Star Trek people, he wants to throw the force be with you at him. So
say Dennis is a big Star Wars guy. Our last caller, he just set him off like, ooh, what's going on? So we just had to bring him back. We're okay, Dennis. We're good. I don't even watch Star Trek. I know Star Wars a little bit, and I know I called Snope Snape or something, or the one or the other in the Discord, and he's probably like, he just lost your Star Wars card last week. I was tired that night. Anyway, go. So what were some of the other highlights from the trip, though?
Got to the new test track. It was good. I kind of like the old one better, but it's still always fun to have the rides back and see a new take on it.
So you like? There's been 3 versions of it. So you like the very first version, like with the crash test dummies?
I would rank them in order of release. So the first one is the crash test dummy one's still my favorite. I didn't mind the create your own car. I know a lot of people complained about that, but I thought it was just something good to do during the line where I didn't think it slowed things down. And where I think the miss was on that is they needed to have a 3D printer where you could put an order in for your car and pick it up at the end of the day.
Ooh, that's a good.
Is a good take.
I've never heard anybody say that. That's a great idea.
Think of how much merchandise would have been sold.
Well, because you could think about it, because you could order it, and then by the time you ride it, yeah. Because I mean, how long does it take to print one of those? Like by the time you ride the ride, it could be like in the store by the time you get off the ride. Maybe, I don't know.
And then another big highlight, got to see Starlight for the first time.
What'd you think about
that? I really liked it. So, and it paid off with it going backwards. I call it backwards because it started at the front of the park and worked its way back to Frontierland. We found a spot right across from Sleepy Hollow, and it was right at that bridge there. So there was no obstruction of the view. And I think I put a picture of it in the Discord, but it was getting pictures with the castle in the background as the floats are coming past.
Oh, I did see that. That picture was awesome. Yeah, I'm so bad at nighttime photography. I can never get one that clear. That was a great picture.
It was, and that was a shot from iPhone picture. So,
man, yeah.
I'm not like Scotty and his fancy equipment, so.
iPhones do pretty good.
That was better than any picture I could.
I think that was a good picture. Those iPhones
really
do pretty well.
I remember seeing that shot. That was really good. Did you like the parade then?
I did. I mean, it's not on the same level of Paint the Night, but again, just great having a parade back at nighttime. And it's been 10 years since Magic Kingdom's had a nighttime parade?
Right.
So, I mean, Magic Kingdom needs a nighttime parade.
100%.
So it was great seeing that. And then we moved over to the hub to get Happily Ever After. I was going to call it Wishes. Good God. So, but it just one night in the kingdom.
Wishes, though.
Yeah. So real quick, I wanted to ask somebody this because I was going to do this at the top of the show, and we got to talk. This is the open line. We talk about anything. How would you rate the 4 festivals throughout the year at Epcot? I'm just curious how they would fall for you, TJ. Like 1 to 4, Festival of Holidays, Food and Wine, Flower and Garden, and which one did I miss?
Arts.
Festival of the Arts.
Arts.
Yep.
I'd probably go Flower and Garden first. I really like the holiday one, but in Pam said this on Friday, the holiday one and Festival of the Arts are really right there neck and neck. But I'd go Flower and Garden, Arts. I won't go with the nickname for it.
Yes, please.
No, Flower and Garden, Holiday, Arts, and then Food and Wine fourth.
That's my order. Perfect.
That is. Okay, so let me follow up, because, and here's why I wanted to do this. Every single person puts Food and Wine at the bottom. And Food and Wine was such a huge draw a decade ago. Like, I mean, it was the be all end all, maybe 15 years ago. But at least it hit its peak maybe 15 years ago. Why do you think that is, TJ? That, I mean, almost to a person, people are saying Food and Wine 4. I mean, it's almost like it's a given. Like, it's good. People are only thinking about the top 3. Like, it's just a throwaway. Okay, Food and Wine's gonna be 4.
It's gotten too big, where it's just too unmanageable, where we don't even look at that for a reason to go that time of year. If we're going to be going, but it's the lines are too long for it. It's just almost gotten too big. And in all honesty, in some ways, I worry that Flower and Garden is starting to go that route where it's getting too crowded. It's pulling in the crowds too much, which from Disney's perspective is a good problem to have.
Yep.
But I would say Food and Wine, it's just the crowds are too much. It takes forever to get through the lines for the food booths and stuff, where I mean, we were on the beginning part of spring break. That's why we went. It was my son's spring break. And during the week, the lines were still manageable for the food booth. So,
last question for you. The Bluey thing, have you seen the coverage of what happened at Disneyland? And what do you think about all this Bluey inundation? Craziness.
I haven't seen what you're talking about.
Okay, you haven't seen it. Okay, I'm just, if you see it on social media this week, it's pretty crazy, and it's coming to a conservation station here at Walt Disney World here soon, like in the next 6 weeks or so. I just wonder.
I know
and I wonder
the takeover going there. So my kids were more when it was there in the Big Blue House over in Hollywood Studios. That was their generation. So
yeah, same. My kids, same. I wonder, because it was so popular. And I mean, I know Disney's like knows it's a popular product, right? It's a popular franchise. But it was like it was slammed at Disneyland today. And I wonder if because I think Jason mentioned this in the chat earlier, are they excited now for what they're doing at Conservation Station, or are they freaked out for what's going to happen at Walt Disney World? But again, it's a different dynamic for the visitors at Walt Disney World, because I think maybe the people at Disneyland might be more parade / showgoers. I don't know. Who knows? Scott, I don't know.
But then on the flip side, my oldest, and she's got a degree in anthropology. She works at a zoo and stuff. She was kind of bummed that she couldn't go see the animals out there. So, because Animal Kingdom is her favorite, and that she would always go out there, but she loves animals, and that's what she does for a living.
Yeah, and it's, they're moving further away from the animal part of the park, but it's probably, everything.
Because it's not a zoo.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that campaign. I think I'm the only one that did, but not the zoo. So good. There's a lot of the old stuff.
I have a sign on my wall out here that says not a zoo, but.
So good. So any other highlights before we let you go, TJ? We're trying to get one more call for the top of the hour.
No, I'll hand it back over and get one more call in. So.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for calling in. I'm so glad you guys had a great trip, making those memories, man. That's what it's all about. And I'll try to send some of this warm weather about 200 miles north.
Hey, TJ, it's great hearing from you. Long time friend of the show. Like we know each other for a while. So great to hear from you calling in.
I thanks, Scotty. And I still remember. I think the first show I listened to was 626 because Mike made a Stitch reference on it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, Mike actually referenced the movie.
Dude, look. Hey, hang on. I'm gonna give TJ a visual.
It might have been Ricky. So
I'm giving TJ a visual 626 reference right here. Look, boom.
Well, he's not. He's calling.
I know he's calling, but if he goes to YouTube.com/BRGuest podcast at about 52 minutes, he'll see that I have a Stitch shirt on right now. So there you go. It's from the
Got it.
2013 Tower of Terror 10 miler. All right. TJ, thanks so much, bud. You take care. Have a good week.
All right.
See you
Okay,
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Little experiment 626. Okay, you didn't even know I knew that. All right. Let's sneak in one more call here. So we got that. Do we go 3 for 3 tonight? I don't know. Let's see. I'm laughing because I can't believe it. We'll see.
The Kansas lost with the buzzer beater.
Oh, dude,
Is that what you're still
I'll be
laughing
happy
about?
all night now. That's just how I'm so spiteful. My phone blew up because Pam was texting me. She's like, but the Gators are losing by 10. Okay, we have our
Yeah,
next
go
call.
Hawkeyes, baby.
Yeah, no, it's only 6 now. Who's joining us?
This is Wade from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, and I just said go Hawkeyes. I mean,
but
can I ask you, Wade, who would you rather play? Would you rather play the Gators or the Hawkeyes?
I've got the game on mute right now as I'm sitting here, and I was talking about it earlier. Nebraska split with Iowa during the regular season. It was a rock fight at Iowa. The Nebraska lost by 3 because they just decided to, put somebody on Peyton Sanford the whole time. And then Nebraska won. It ended up being an overtime game. Nebraska should have won it by 5 or 6 at home, but it was overtime. So I don't know. I might be done with Iowa, although it might be a great storyline because Nebraska's leading scorers, all Big Ten player Peyton Sanford, who played at Iowa the last 2 years and now plays at Nebraska.
Yeah.
So
I just
got
would think that funny because it's like a rivalry to some sort, like you finally get to the Sweet 16. Do you really want to play Iowa or do you want to play a 1 seed Florida? Like, I don't know. That's a tough one, right? But
I know exactly. I suppose I'd say Iowa. That would make it fun. And 1 seeds are 1 seeds because they've been good all year long, right?
right. Exactly.
So maybe
if you make it, if you win
take
2 games in the
that,
tournament, you're a good
you can
team.
get.
and plus that
What's
kid
that?
for Florida is like 8'9". He's like almost ducking to go into the rim every time he's down low. I'm just saying that kid's he's freakishly tall.
He's a giant.
Yeah, exactly. And that causes all kinds of problems. But I got to be honest, though. I've said, Scott, I told you this. I go, Nebraska wins 1 game, I can leave this earth knowing I saw 1 tournament win after seeing a lot of Nebraska basketball games in my lifetime. And to see that one on Thursday was fantastic. And the one last night was like the cherry on top. So now everything's gravy, right? If they're able to win another game, it would be wild. But you know what? It's okay. They're having a great season, and that's kind of how I'm taking it now after the craziness of last night.
I love your attitude. Let me just say, because I know we got to talk Disney because everybody will be getting on us because this is how it works. But
Yeah.
You guys have won 2 more NCAA tournament games than my Mizzou Tigers in the last 15 years. And you hadn't won any in the history of your whole program before this run. So there you go. You've won 2 more than we have in the last 15 years. So congratulations. I wanted to jump off a bridge after that, but that's okay.
Well,
So Nebraska's won more
I
tournament games and as a
2
Big Ten
more.
member as Mizzou has won as a SEC member.
Probably, yeah. It's so bad.
I think that's how that works out.
We choke. Yeah, let's talk Disney. I can't because I'm going to jump right out this window. Even though I'm still, it's only. I mean, it's just my backyard. It wouldn't be very exciting, but I'm just. You're getting me fired up again. Go ahead. You're taking me back to Friday
I'm
night.
sorry, Mike.
it's
let's
a
talk
crazy world.
Yeah.
I'm sweating again. Now all of a sudden it's
Indiana-
not hot. It's not cold in here anymore.
Crazy
What-
world when Indiana's
Festival
winning
Wade.
football games and Nebraska's winning basketball games. So
Yeah, I told-
it's upside down.
Here again, I told Pam
But-
earlier tonight while we were eating pizza before the show, I'm like, everybody's friends, their teams are all playing next weekend. And my team doesn't get to do anything fun. I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this show tonight. Wade's going to call in. Scott's going to be happy. Everybody's happy. Scott's daughter's team's in. Everybody's in, but me. I'm going
Everyone's
to be
in.
sad.
I know.
Anyway, okay, go ahead, Wade. Talk about Disney. I'm about to leave. Go ahead.
Okay. Scott, it's just you and I now. So,
Yeah. Well, we're happy, so we can happily talk about Disney.
That's right.
Yeah.
Win the weekend. So, hey, I've got a controversial take here, and I am going to hope that Food and Wine been my favorite festival for many, many, many years. And part of it is because of what it used to be and before 2020. And I wish they would bring it back like it was, which was the tasting seminars, the wine, I was the first time I tasted Macallan Scotch was at a Scotch tasting at Epcot, where you got to taste like all their different Scotches and the history of the company, and they went through it all, and it was really cool. I think it cost like $15 or $20. We did a wine tasting. We've done a food demonstration. These are all those seminars they had, used to have, and then they went away. And so that's what really, to me, made Food and Wine a really cool festival. And I was there with, it wasn't just because of Run Disney. I've done a lot of wine and dine races over the years, but we had been there when there were no Run Disney events too, and really enjoyed Food and Wine because of all the lunches, the dinners, the celebrity chefs, the wine tasting, all that stuff just made it a really cool festival. And it got cut, and I hope they bring that back.
And somebody was mentioning, there was a discussion in the Discord either today or yesterday as we're recording, about, they have that whole new festival center or the community hall, like that would work for these kind of events, I would think, because they used to use the old Wonders of Life Pavilion, but I think that would work as a great venue to bring back some of these demonstrations and things like that. I would guess. I mean, I'm not an expert now. They still have the World Showplace. They could use that too.
Yeah. It's got a lot of space. And I'm sure it takes a lot of money, time, effort, planning. It's a lot more difficult than just popping up, the permanent food booths that are out there. You also have the music part of it too, which makes it a really cool festival. But if they would bring that back, I just think that could be, it brings back what really made that festival for many, many years. It's gotten too long. I think, Scott, you said on one of the podcasts, it starts like July 5th and goes till like November 21st, it seems.
I think they fixed that a little bit last year, but man, there was a time where it's like, wow, why is this so long?
Right. Yeah, I think they did shorten it a little bit, but if they would go back to that, I'd still put it number one. Flower Garden's number two for me. Actually, it's kind of tied with
the bog, dude. I totally forgot about the bog.
The cranberry bog was great.
You killed me. I'm like, what did you say? And then I forgot what you're talking about.
Yeah, the bog.
You remember when like Good Morning America would like do a show there too, like and advertise like Food and Wine? I remember they would do chef demonstrations on Good Morning America. Like they used to like really advertise that stuff too. And like I that was Food and Wine to me. Like that was like when it was like really cool when like they had maybe like 10 less food booths too and more demonstrations. Like, yeah, that was peak, as the kids say these days, right? That was peak Epcot.
Yeah,
Food and Wine.
No cap.
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, I think a lot of people said this though, like the crowds are insane during Food and Wine. And so what is Disney's incentive to add? Because I mean, that's a ton of work to probably bring in guest, appearances and all that stuff and coordinate all that stuff. And like, why? I mean, because they don't need to increase crowds. It's already insanity. There's people not coming because it's so busy.
Well, the weekends are insane, right? And I think doing the things during the week makes it kind of cool too. And I don't know if you can even it out a little bit, but the weekends are definitely crazy. And I always try to avoid Epcot on Saturday and Sunday of Food and Wine. But no, you're right. They get people going anyway. So do they need to do that extra?
Yeah,
probably not. I wish they would though.
I know. I'm with you. I know. I hate when it reaches that point where like there's
because you can't even book rooms on site anyway, right?
Right,
like,
right. But I
mean,
but you want them to still want to make the product better, like not just say, oh, well, we're making, it's already like we've got so many people coming that we don't have to make the product. No, you still need to make the product better because that's you're held to a higher standard. You're Disney, like that's why we fell in love. That's why we came to you for the last 20 years because you've been the best. You've been the leader in the market. Like you've had the best experiences, and we expect that. Don't just rest on your laurels, kind of thing. But it's that's why I'm not a business person. But I could see why they don't, right? Because like if you're at 100% capacity, why add stuff? Because what's your return on investment? Like you can't fill the park anymore. It's bulging. I don't know. That's,
Right.
Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a business person.
Well, anyway, who knows what they'll do? I know, they'll be announcing soon, or start to announce soon at some point here what they will be doing, and I just wish for some of it back. Even the Disney chefs, they'd have like Parisian breakfast, Parisian lunch, and they do some of those things, I think, throughout the like tequila tastings, but not like they used to. So we'll see. That's my wish. And so for there, I put it number one, but man, it's gonna drop soon.
I agree, though. Like they have some. That's a great point, though. They don't even have to draw from external sources. I mean, like you say, use Hilda at over at La Cava, and they have great chefs at all these signature restaurants. Like showcase them, because I think, I don't know, this is just me, but like if I was like a great chef at, say, Yachtsman, I think it'd be cool to be featured at a seminar where people could see my talents. Like that make me feel like valued. I don't know.
Right.
I think so.
Right.
And I think everybody wins, and give them a little kickback, give them a little
and
extra.
it might get you to book more reservations at your restaurant.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but I guess a lot of the, going back to what we were just saying, there's probably no capacity in a lot of these restaurants already. So why do they need to advertise the restaurants? I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
Another down point for me for Food and Wine. I know Flower and Garden can get hot near the end. I think it's just the hottest.
It is
I think it's the hottest festival.
It is smoking hot.
When you think about
there's no
Festival of
doubt.
the Holidays is like so comfortable, and then like Festival of Arts, you have like some really good weather, and Flower and Garden, it starts off really nice, like in March there, but like Food and Wine is 100%. It's just hot.
Humid. It's a humidity fest. It's like Lobster Fest at Red Lobster, but it's Humidity Fest at Walt Disney World.
So that actually is kind of like it's not Food and Wine's fault, but well, it kind of was when they had it starting in July 5th. But man, it's just a smoking hot festival, and that kind of like puts it down on me too, just because of how hot it is.
Yep, agree. Yeah, it does become a humidity sweat fest.
That really makes it sound exciting. We're really knocking it up a notch here with the humidity.
And then like, here, come have this soup at this like food booth.
Yeah, come have some cheddar cheese soup in Canada and walk around with that, smoking hot clam chowder. Nice. Well, wait.
I probably won't go back.
Still a great festival, though.
Yeah, it is.
It looks good on you, though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you two enjoy your basketball next weekend. I will find something to do with my free time.
You can watch basketball.
I will, and I'll cheer on your teams. I just don't have Nebraska stuff, and nor will I ever have Nebraska stuff. But
we plays Thursday.
But I'll cheer for your team. Friday. There you go. And I'll cheer for. I wore green for your Spartans that day. So there you go. I didn't have Spartan stuff, but I wore green. So I'll cheer for your teams.
Hey, we were both happy Kansas lost. So
yeah, I was about to lose it. Yeah, that was good.
I mean, I've seen Kansas beat Nebraska so many times in person that I can't see them lose enough. No offense to any Kansas listeners or fans there, but I can't. I've seen them just rip our heart out so many times over the years because they've been so good, right? Yeah. Most of my lifetime, probably my entire lifetime. So anyway, yeah, we can both be happy about that.
Trust me, Wade. Look at my background. As much as I talk about Mizzou, I doubt we have many Kansas fans listen to the show, so we're probably pretty good.
Oh,
all right. We'll talk to you soon, Wade. You guys take care up there. It's good to talk to you.
All right. Take care, guys.
See you, buddy.
Go Big Red.
All right. Bye-bye.
Go Big Red.
All right, Scotty G, I know you got a ton to do, so we're going to get out of here. It's been a fun hour, and we're glad that
fun hour. Sorry about all the sports talk. It's March Madness. We couldn't help ourselves.
It's good. And it's what brings everybody together this time of year. It's fun. Everybody, little pockets of the country get to cheer for each other. It is kind of cool, though, because, like, I am cheering for, Wade's Nebraska Cornhuskers, even though, back in the day I never would have. But I got a friend.
You couldn't stand them.
Oh, God, I hated them. Still kind of do, but I like Wade.
I know, that's what's crazy. Yeah, because now you people that like these schools. It's kind of wild. I pay Michigan tuition now. Like it. Oh man.
Anyway, all right. So we're just glad that the phones worked and we had great calls tonight. So we hope you enjoyed the show. And we'll do this again next Sunday night. So If you didn't get in tonight, we'll continue the conversation next week. Got a Bluey take? Give us that festival take. And I'm sure we'll have more to talk about by next Sunday night. So give us a call, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Next Sunday night, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch. Don't forget the shows are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're standing by all week to help you plan amazing Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, even Adventures by Disney Vacations for no additional cost to you. Just swing by the website. Check out all the information over there at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That's one extra click. It's over at beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you very much to our Patreon sponsors. You guys are the folks that keep us on the air. We cannot do this without your support. It's only $5 a month. And when you do that, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. You can follow me on the social media at BeOurGuestMike. That's on X.com, Instagram, and Threads. You can follow Scott in those same places at EpScott. They would be at EPSCOT, like almost like those buses you see all around Walt Disney World. They're close. I think
it's so close.
I think Scott every
so
time
weird.
I see him. But the place you got to go is Must See Adventures. That's Scott's YouTube channel. That is awesome. Anytime you are missing Walt Disney World, that's where you got to go. Scott, I know you've been working hard on the channel all weekend. What's happening over there?
Well, I promised that I was going to have a C-Day episode out, and I'm still trying to get it out. So by the time this hit the feed, it for sure will be out. But if you're watching live, it should be out tomorrow on Monday. But yeah, it's our C-Day. Those are fun episodes, you know. So we do a couple of tastings. We're going to go to Rapunzel's Royal Table on the Disney Magic. And then we're going to have some future Scott, Liz, and Emily. We're going to share our overall thoughts on the Disney Magic. Just get some real-time thoughts on what we thought about the cruise and the ship. So if you want some real live takes on what we thought about the ship, go check it out. And you get a lot of ship footage. It's a good episode. Go subscribe.
All right, like and subscribe. We're there. Must See Adventures on YouTube. I also want to send a shout out to Molly Kilo, one of our great lizards. I've been rocking the I Can Go the Distance hat. She sent that to me this week as a recovery gift for my surgery. And I so appreciate it because I'm going to try to get back to going the distance. But I will be wearing this hat in that, and I so appreciate it. So I've got a bunch of great compliments during the show. So thank you for that, Molly. It's very, very sweet, and the card was very sweet as well. So thank you so very much for that. And also, okay, speaking of, come by the clubhouse. That's where we all hang out all the time. It's free. It's like a message board. It's our Discord server. We send the animated GIFs. We just hang out, talk Disney, talk life. So we're waiting for you right now. So come on over. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse right now. We even had an Alabama fan join this morning, Scott.
Look at that.
Yeah,
we're all over the place.
You know, like
all over the world.
It's
we got
crazy.
people in Australia, the UK. Like, it's great.
It's awesome. All right, so we're going to get out of here. We'll have the shows this week. All kinds of fun for you. I think on Friday, I want to do a show. I don't know why I came up with this, but I was thinking about it on the treadmill the other morning when I was running in pain. But I think I want to do a show Friday on various elevators around Walt Disney World, like where you're elevated. Well, obviously the Tower of Terror is an elevator, but what other things do you get do you ride elevators around Walt Disney World or the Disney parks? Like,
I got one that just came to mind, but I might not be on the show.
Well, we're gonna have to get you on the show because and we got to do your Disneyland. I got to talk to you about Disneyland too. So we got to get you on the show. There's Sean was the Alabama fan. There you go. See, boom, right there. Join the Discord a couple days ago. There you go. Sean Phillips. There we go.
Got like a cowboy hat on or something.
Exactly. It was Roll Tide. All right. So there you go. All right. So he's probably getting ready for his basketball. See, speaking of, he's getting ready for his basketball game. They got the late tip tonight. All right. So, anyway, we're going to get out of here, but I was thinking elevators for Friday, but it could change. We got 24 hours and we make things up we make split second decisions 3 minutes before we hit the record button. So who knows? By the time this comes out, probably not that show. All right. So for Scotty G over at Must See Adventures, check him out because he's getting back to editing right after he eats dinner after this show. I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.